a second-hand coat. I want a yacht, not a cheap little boat. I tell my daddy not to be depressed. All I need for happiness is the best. I want a diamond, nothing else has appeal. And when it comes to men, you know how I feel. I want a real man. Give me a real man, you know what I mean. I want a real man. Oh, real man, you're what I need.
Buddy.
Hey, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Nice to see you, Laura. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Real Men. I'm your host, Tim Steeves. This is the magazine show where men get real, really real, sometimes a little more real than you need. Today, we're serving up the Dwayne Hill on the menu. How are you, Dwayne? Oh, nice.
Lunch was great.
Well, I asked him how he was. Laurie Elliott, how are you doing? She was just kidding. And Tim Reichert is here with us as well.
They've left me no bodily functions.
No,
Wet yourself.
You're left out, Timmy. And Ted Dykstra is here. Can you believe you're part of this, Ted, at this point?
It's hard to, but I can.
And that's how we're going to get the show started. A commentary from that same Ted Dykstra. Go ahead.
Act like a man, be a man, don't be a baby, don't act like a girl, sissy boy. Poor men, poor us guys, being taught from very early on that we can't express our pain or our emotions because it's not manly. I got a bad back. I've had a bad back for about a year. Pretty bad back, really. But I haven't seen anyone about it, and I'm not going to see anyone about it because I'd rather just get through the day gritting my teeth, go home, knock back some vodka and a few Advil, than go see some guy who's going to tell me that there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me, okay? I am Dickie Duff. I'm Dickie Duff playing a Stanley Cup final for the Leafs with a broken leg and scoring a goal. Nothing wrong with me. Cancer, what? That's not a spot on my lung. That's on your machine, you. Blood in my stools. That's not blood. That's something red that I ate. Come on. Get out of my way. Actually, I used to think that men could handle pain a lot better than women, that they were tougher, and then I watched my wife give birth to our son. That's Excedrin pain. Hey, Dickie Duff, try passing a bowling ball out your ass. Back to you, Tim.
Okay, Teddy Ballgame starting off with the painkiller vodka mix. That can work. What, are we a bunch of pusses, Dwayne? Are you? Well, as men, are we a little bit on the soft side?
Well, no. The pregnancy thing is definitely an exception to the rule, right? But there are guys who function with broken legs and play sports just because they want to, as opposed to a kid. Once you're pregnant, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, they want to. It's not the coach that's gonna, and the rest of their teammates are gonna kick their ass. They don't get out there. Get out there.
That's the stupidest thing in the world to me. I laugh at that when people decide, oh, I broke my leg. I'll keep playing. Maybe I'll break it more and never be able to walk again.
If they cackle that insanely, though, it's always like there's a bit of a concussion.
That's what I think is going on in their head, though.
How does that guy's backup feel, by the way, right? He's out there playing with, you're not as good as him with he's got a broken leg and he's still in the game.
And better than you.
And you're his backup. What's it gonna take?
And you guys don't grin and bear it, eh? You get sick and you're in pain and stuff like that. Instead of going to the doctors, you're all like, we just grin and bear it. No, you don't.
That
you get
would mean
really
that you're
assy.
not in control. It means
You're all assy.
you're not in control if you admit that you need help. That, for me, that's what it is.
When you look bad, it's
I don't need any help. I don't care how
foot looks
sick
pretty
I am.
infected. Yeah, well, the smell's not so bad. You just get some water on it.
Yeah.
That's a discharge.
It's not a control factor for me. It's just pain. I have no threshold for pain. I'm willing to admit it. If you threw a fake punch at me and then pulled it back at the last second and didn't actually hit me, I'd go, ow! Because I'm so ready for pain. Ow! See,
Ted, is it our generation? Because you look at the men in the 1920s or the Second World War. Weren't those tougher generations?
Definitely
than now?
tougher. Look at Eric Lindros. He's 8 or 9 serious concussions, so he takes some time off. What a woman. He's a girl. Dickie Duff would have gone out there, Eric.
My day, you didn't take time off till you couldn't count to 3.
That's right.
That's okay. I
You're
gotta
dead or
comment
you're
on
playing.
This. What a woman thing, because women have higher thresholds for pain than men. So you guys walking around going, "What a woman!"
You can tell that with just hot dishwater. You ever see a woman put her hands in the hot dishwater?
Oh,
you ever see that? Like that?
I'm being facetious.
water?
I do believe that women have a much higher threshold of pain, but I think men sort of instinctively know that, and so that they have to not show any pain at all, because they'll never actually have to go through that giving birth thing, so they can't really complain about like a leg.
Why do you feel like you shouldn't show that you're in pain? Because you look like you're in pain. You look like it.
Thanks, Laurie. Thanks a
I'm
lot.
sure it's a survival instinct. It's like, don't let Cave 4 know I did this thing to my arm. Oh, God, I'm gonna look at it.
I'll take some acting lessons
Put some
then.
fur over it, and maybe it'll grow its own fur, and it'll all heal up.
If Thag finds out we're hurt, then he'll get
kill
his
and eat
men.
my brains. You know he'll eat my brains. He's done it to others. That's what he does.
You've been watching too much Battlefield Earth during the break.
Human man animal. Oh, you are a man animal.
We're getting soft, though. Men are getting soft, but my question is, so? What do we need to be tough for anymore?
We don't anymore.
Exactly.
We don't need to hunt and
nothing
gather.
Exactly.
Okay, grab your cell phone and order a pizza if you get hungry, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can, there's tons of medicines, the pharmaceutical companies. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
give you so many ways
I have
to
an
alleviate it.
incredibly low threshold for pain. I have the worst threshold for
How
pain.
fast do you go for the pain reliever, Dwayne? How
Well,
fast do you
I don't
grab
think-
the bottle?
Yeah, pain reliever. If it worked instantly, like if I had a syringe of morphine around the house, I would have used it by now. Like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Morphine. I stubbed my toe. Look at the lines and toes.
Put the lotion in the basket.
She puts the lotion in the basket. Put the lotion in the basket. No, but I caught myself in my fly once when I was like 9 years old, and I can still remember every second of
That's
it.
Excedrin pain.
And I knew at the
Yeah.
time it's like, if
Let's
I
get
could
outta here.
turn back time.
Let's get out of here because we have a very good reason to break this short, and let's add the time to the next segment. We're talking S&M and bondage next segment, and we're going to be joined by Miss Barbara Fish, professional dominatrix. So don't go away. We're all taking a spanking when we come back.
Miss or mistress? Mistress.
Keep the spanking at home.
The damn spanking better stay at home.
So you're a girl that likes to be spanked, let's be honest.
Well, no, I could be the spanker.
Nice. Hey, welcome back to the show. This segment, I'm really fired up, actually. We're joined by a professional dominatrix, Miss Barbara Fish. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
That's really cool. You were the former Miss Toronto Leather 2001, but you resigned from that.
I did.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that amongst other dominatrix subjects. And to get the segment kicked off, I'm a little fired up. As you can tell, I'm a little nervous. No, it'll be okay. I'll just stay in my shoes. Here's Laurie Elliott to get it kicked off. Go, Laurie, go.
I'm a going. This is going to be an exciting segment because we're talking about S&M. Particularly, my favorites are the green ones. They melt in your mouth, not in your. But seriously, are you a high-paid executive who's used to dishing it out, but you're really sad because no one ever tries to give it back to you? And when people refer to you as having your nuts in a knot over something, do you kind of wish your nuts were in a knot? And you were wearing a mask with no eyes? Well, if you're that type of guy, then maybe you might be into the old S&M. I don't really know what it's all about. Well, we're here to find that out with Miss Barbara Fish. Take it away.
Nice job, Laurie. Grab some couch there, sweetie, and we'll talk about this. We're all titillated to death here on the Real Men today. Thanks for coming in, Miss Barbara Fish.
My pleasure.
That's really cool. You also have a radio show called Satan Takes a Holiday on CKLN.
That's right.
88.1. Check that out. That sounds like fun. How did you get started in this?
Professionally or personally?
Let's start professionally.
Professionally, well, that's kind of a long story. I think professionally sort of branched out from my personal life. I was very unhappy in my office job, and I wanted a lot more control over my working conditions, over my job, over my hours. I wanted more control, and I think I found this quite naturally.
What you wanted was guys to get down on their knees for you. You didn't want just control over your life.
That's true too. But personally, it's been quite a long journey. I can remember from grade 2, the childhood game, the boy I had a crush on, in in grade 2, he was a little boy that would come to school in a little military uniform with the top button undone. I was crazy for it. And we played this game every recess where I would chase him around the schoolyard. I'd kick him to the ground, pin him down, and then kiss him better. And of course, this is a really primitive form of...
But that's the beginning.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
The fundamentals.
Well, what it really taught me was a lot about controlling someone's sensations, someone's emotions. And he claimed to hate this game, but he came back to play it every recess. So,
He's throwing his peanut butter sandwich out. I'm gonna go play a game. Next time you see me, I'll have a shiner.
Did you have to apprentice or anything like that in order to...
Yeah, I've been reading safe SM manuals, well, actually since before I ever had my first kiss. I was reading, I can remember at a very young age reading about safe flogging techniques, safe rope bondage, safe piercing, and all kinds of safe play. And I really think it's crucial that before anyone gets involved in SM play, they know how to do it safely. And actually that goes for all kinds of erotic play.
Barbara, speak to what we were saying before in the break about safe and consensual.
Safe, sane, and consensual. That's our mantra within the SM community. All play has to be safe. All play has to be sane. That means that people understand what it is they're getting involved in, and that's as a top or as a bottom. There's a great amount of responsibility and trust involved. Consensual means that everyone involved has to consent. There's nothing sexy about an abuse of power in any regard.
Yeah, but you guys can pretend to not
you
consent.
Can consent to
consent and then go.
You can consent to an abduction. You can consent to, you know, having all of your rights taken away from you. But it's so long as there are certain safe parameters established at the outset, whether those are safe words, safe words, or if someone is gagged, maybe if they, you know, tap their foot 3 times or grunt twice or something, that can mean slow down or stop altogether, or, you know, slow down because I'm having an actual problem.
Does this sound appealing to you, Teddy?
I don't think I'm a bottom. So not from that point of view.
Why
but
not?
Why not? Well, probably because I feel the same. Whatever makes her a top is the same thing in me. Is that I would rather be in control. I feel no need to be controlled by other people. In fact, I can't stand authority of any kind.
Shut up, Dwayne.
That's like guys are homophobic, though. Nothing worse than gays, man. I hate gays.
That's right. So maybe
I'd probably
that
taste
means,
a penis
maybe
if
that
I
means
had
I
to.
really want to be dominated. Maybe it means that. I don't know.
Exactly. It's
I
like,
don't think so.
you can't tell me. I'm exactly like you. Whack. I'm hard.
In the same way
what
that
about you, the
sexuality
flip
is,
side?
well, I'm not a switch. I am from the very youngest age. I've always known that in terms of this kind of power exchange, I am a dominant. I am the top.
So you personally don't like the pain with your sex. You like to dole out the pain, not receive the pain. Is that?
Well, I mean, for some people, this is part of their sexuality. But for other people, there's so-called sex, and then there's SM play. BD, DS,
and it's not
SM.
connected to sex, to a man having an orgasm?
I think it's connected to eroticism, but in terms of actual coitus, that does not have to be a part of this at all. It can be an extraordinarily rewarding, sensual experience.
I almost said sexual.
I almost said sexual. I think for some people,
it is a sexual experience.
For some people, this is their sexuality or their sexual orientation. There are people that I know who have no interest whatsoever in so-called vanilla sex or non-SM.
Yeah. I would guess that you two are the recipients of vanilla sex.
My wife will be glad to know that we practice vanilla sex.
I thought it was flavorless.
Hey, Dwayne, would you be into this sort of thing? Would you like to be a bottom for the
know
night?
What? I got to tell you, I'm really open-minded, and yes, I've been tied to a chair a couple of times. Abduction, fantasy, whatnot. But I don't think that I have a low tolerance of pain. You wallop me with one of those things really gently. I think that was about as gentle as you could do it, and my hand is still tingling.
I'm the same way.
Tingling.
I could see
tingling.
myself.
Tingling's good.
I can see where you get it. I actually dated a girl who was really into, and she liked being bitten during sex, but she would always sink her teeth into me at some point, and I would go, "Oh, stoppy, we stop now." Ow, ow.
She was probably doing it as, you know, a cue to you. This is what I want done to me, so I'll do it to you just to trigger your memory or something.
Interesting. Let's take a break. Let's take a quick break. Thanks for coming in. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have more with professional dominatrix. Doesn't that just roll off your tongue? More with professional dominatrix, Miss Barbara Fish. When we come back. I'm frightened. I don't mind saying it. Welcome back to the show. We're joined by Miss Barbara Fish, professional dominatrix. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
So we've talked about a few different aspects of this. What about the pricing? Can you give me a hint? What's this going to cost me for a 6-hour session of...
6 hours.
6 hours.
I'm talking big time.
You've been a really bad boy.
You guys obviously don't know how much spanking I need.
For me, my rates vary according to session duration, content, and location. So that would be something that you and I could chat about afterwards.
Sounds good.
So you
Consider
do-
that a date.
You drop in like house calls type stuff, and
I can visit people globally or locally.
And I think on this level, it's like, if you have to ask, just, slam yourself in the door because you can't afford.
When you say globally,
Globally.
so who's flying you to Minsk or Minsk?
I'm not
or-
naming
No,
names.
okay, but where are you going? Where
Can you
been
tell us
going?
about the most exotic job you've had as far as the travel and that kind of thing?
I can tell you some of the locations I've visited.
Yeah, that's all. We're not,
Please.
we're not
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
for dirt here. We're looking for
Czech
exotic.
Republic,
Wow.
Bermuda, Netherlands, Belgium, France.
So they couldn't find the dominatrix they wanted.
In
They
Netherlands.
wanted you.
They wanted
They
me.
wanted you, and they put you on a plane.
Bermuda's a little laid back. It's like, yeah, man, tomorrow.
Toronto's
Tomorrow
known for
hits
its
her ass.
nasty bitches.
And some nice bitches, too.
And some nice bitches, too.
I was on a website looking this up, and I thought it was interesting because there was one mistress. I don't even know what they're talking about, but there was
Well, it's
one
just 'cause he
mistress.
always- sorry.
There was one mistress who was like, you can come and tour the premises, and you don't have to participate right away and stuff. And I thought that was very cool. Like it seems like it's always been kind of a brushed under the carpet type thing, but now it's coming out in the forefront. It's safe, and if you want to do it, you.
I mean, when Dolce & Gabbana are using single-tail whips in their ads with, 6-inch heels,
Wow.
you know it's gone mainstream. It's
Yeah.
mainstream fashion.
Maybe this is a good time to break out the hardware. Why don't you show us
Sure.
some of the fun stuff?
I just brought a few
Oh my
implements.
God!
Like a survival kit.
That's my
Now,
stuff.
can you
This
describe what
is-
you have
yes,
there?
this looks very sweet, little bunny fur, little meow meow, but it has a little slap on the other side, like that. And
Little attention getter.
I'll pass that around.
I can't actually hold it.
This one
My hand
again,
is
it's
not.
very pretty and shiny, but it has two.
I think Vice Principal Jenkins used to give me
That
that.
can-
Throwing
Yeah, I got
snowballs.
That can hit both cheeks at once.
Just give it to Ted again. Slap him again.
Oh, that's
there you
good.
go. It's got a nice sparkle in the patent
cheeks
leather.
at once.
I can't hold
Hey,
anything now.
No
the sound of
dropping
that.
it.
Oh,
This is
sorry.
a beautiful
Wow.
implement.
Okay, you can hit Dwayne with that.
What can you do with that?
No, hit Ted again.
No.
Actually,
Okay, come on.
this is really
no,
nice.
No, really. Actually, that's not as bad.
Well, that's because it's heavy, and I also haven't been able to gather a lot of speed. It's heavier. Exactly. That's what these
You take a
slots
run
are
at
for.
people.
Your skin goes through those slots.
Well, no, it's
and-
not that the skin goes through. It's that the air can get through to decrease resistance, and you can increase the speed. Also, this is really nice because after a flogging with something like this could come out of the freezer and cool you right down. So I'll pass that around.
Oh, it's like
man.
dentine or something.
It's like a beer
I
glass.
can really feel the coolness. Oh,
This is another beautiful
so cold.
patent leather whip, a metallic finish with
That's
a
sort of a
nice.
Christmas kind of look to it.
Or I guess
As
so.
you're showing these, Barbara, tell me about what are the most common requests of you? The spanking, is that the number one?
Spanking, yes, I would say spanking is.
A hand spanking?
Over the knee hand spanking is a very, very specific
Right.
interest that a lot of people have, which is often apart from a classic, what you would consider BDSM.
Right.
Now, when you say over the knee, I'm just curious. The guy, no, I
Go
don't.
on, Jed.
No.
Go on, just on your knees.
The guy goes. You sit in a chair and he folds over this way, and you go like this.
That's one way it could
Or-
be done.
Many
There are many
Go on your knees.
variations.
She'll wallop your
Ted,
ass.
where's
for-
your imagination?
Barbara,
don't
what about
have
the
one,
most
clearly.
Give us like a couple of the more
A lot-
unusual ones that you request.
Well, this is sort of like bridge. I think some people get very into heavy bondage, and I think that a lot of times those are people who have a lot of control in their lives, and a lot of people who are independently employed or very high placed. People within whatever their social sphere or professional sphere is. And I think those people are not often really interested in a lot of pain. It's more being controlled. It's the
Right.
giving over of control. Some of those people really get into mummification.
Wow.
hoods,
That's where I'm at.
gags.
Mummification. That's
That-
my.
Sorry to
Straitjackets.
cut you off, but we have to take a break.
Okay.
Stay with us. We got a couple minutes left on Real Men today, and we're talking S&M and bondage with Miss Barbara Fish, professional dominatrix. Don't go away. Welcome back to the show. We've been talking S&M and bondage with professional dominatrix Miss Barbara Fish. Thanks for coming in. It was
Anytime.
very educational.
Super.
And during the break, you had your way with Dwayne, I can see.
He looks so cute, don't you think?
Is the
And he's
gimp
finally
sleeping? Well, you
shut
best
up.
wake the gimp up then.
Bring out the gimp. So let's beat the hell out of Dwayne. What do you say, everyone?
Yeah.
Laurie, why don't you just reveal Dwayne's mouth so we can at least make a comment? Oh, Laurie! Oh, that's cool.
And what's
How does it
this?
feel, Dwayner, under there? You like that?
I put the lotion in the basket, and now I'm... Speak! No more speak! Speak! I've been bad, No more speak! Well, it's interesting. I can see why people like it, but I can also see why crazy people hate it. You know, if I could just explain... My wife's into this thing. I didn't know I'd fall out of the
Stop
window.
staring at me.
You know, I hate to be...
Laurie, what about those nipple clamps? How are they working for you?
Oh, they're feeling fine.
Can you shake those for us? I don't know if they read on camera.
Come off so easily.
Tim volunteered so quickly. Oh, my
Wow.
goodness.
Wow.
I've been bad.
Give her a wallop.
Well, this has been good television today on Real Men, I think. Thanks for coming in, Miss Barbara Fish.
My pleasure. It was an absolute scream.
That was cool.
Make them scream during credits.
So where are you off to next? Can you tell us? You're not even allowed to say. Like, you're going to be jetted off to Czechoslovakia to whip some guy, or what?
Well, I usually am here in Toronto.
Right.
And I'm in lots of clubs DJing too. So,
Oh, cool. Yeah, you spin, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a website?
No, it's under
gotta get a-
construction.
We're out of
It's
time.
under construction.
We're out of time. Thanks, Miss Barbara Fish, professional dominatrix, for coming in and tying Dwayne up. I thought that was an excellent use of
Yes,
time.
thank
It was
you,
all
thank
thanks
you,
to the panel.
thank you.
Thanks to you for coming into Real Men, where men get real. Out.